Welcome everybody back to another episode of Macro Crypto on the Sunday podcast. I think episode number 5. Giving you guys information on the crypto market today. I'm Shane.
I'm your host, Ryan, the host with the most.
Wow. Just he's so corny.
Come on, you guys agree. Let us know in the comments who's the better host.
If you guys enjoy the content though, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, head over to our Twitter page at Macro Crypto Club and give us a follow. Like always, link will be in the description. What do you have to say?
Don't forget to hit those bell notifications. We got time-sensitive information being spewed out here. You guys need those.
Did anyone else see how just he pops up just when he has something to say?
Urgent. Just like these videos, very urgent. Hit those bell notifications. Don't forget, you can also hit the bell notification and choose just certain playlists.
I think you can.
Maybe, if you can, cool. If you can't, cool. Hit it.
Whatever. Hey, just enjoy. If you enjoy the content, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. It's that simple. I mean, when it comes down to it, we'll be curating more, even if you don't. Might as well just get in on the action.
Let's go.
Podcast is all about just banter back and forth, chatting about the crypto market in general.
Yep.
And, we are for the people. And our
just like
first
crypto.
and our first video, all in on crypto, when we sold our house back in 2017, we kind of just discussed that. We had an individual named Vanessa place in the comment section that she would like us to talk about the 4-year versus the extended cycle. So let's go ahead, just chat about our opinion. Of course, it's purely our opinion. This is all for entertainment value. None of it is financial advice. Gotta let you know that.
None of it.
Okay.
Now, before we dive in, give like a brief synopsis of what's the 4-year cycle.
Okay. Putting pressure on me.
For anybody who doesn't know.
So the idea between the 4-year cycle versus the extended cycle, 4-year cycles are basically once the end of a bull market where there's a blow off top, then the bear or crypto winter starts. Last time this came around was 2017. Then it was a year long, or at the end of 2017, it was a year long bear market winter. Just the collapse of crypto, sky is falling, Chicken Little running around. And then we had like a slow progression towards 2020 and 2021 where we had an uptrend. But in the middle of that, we also had a little peak for Bitcoin and some other of the alts. But it was more of like an accumulation phase from 2019 to 2020. Then we started having a spike increase. And some would argue even 2021 was a nice accumulation phase. And that's what we're going to get into right now. But the 4-year cycle is basically you get your blow off top. Then it is a 4-year period of, bear market, winter for the crypto market, and then accumulation, and then another blow off top, and then rinse and repeat 4 years, time after time again. And of course, that can differ from different aspects. Then the extended cycle is just based off of every cycle has been a little longer from the all-time low. So where the all-time low is to get to the next peak in a specific cycle has extended each period, and there's been 3 of them. So, or at least within the existence of Bitcoin. For Ethereum, there's only been 1. So all of these theories are brand new across the board. And let's go ahead, start off with where you're at, like what you're thinking. Or like even talking about previously, you're thinking and how it's evolved over time.
Yeah. So previously, before I kind of began to shift my time horizons, I think it was back maybe October, November, where I started saying like, hey, it might be this, it might be this extended cycle. I remember kind of bringing those ideas to you, and you were like, no, like I think, it's going to be December, January. I was like, yeah, probably, but, it could be this extended cycle.
Yeah, I was a 4-year cycle guy for a very long time, and I've shifted, obviously, my approach just because I have hopium for this year. I don't think we're in that 4-year cycle phase where we already had that blow off top. And obviously we didn't, but we didn't reach our peaks for 2021. My idea and my position has shifted, which we all should have that capability of doing over time. Because if you're so stuck in the mud, or you are just so stubborn into a certain idea and a concept, it's going to hurt you in the market in the long run.
Yep.
And we'll see what happens with this year. Do we just continue trending down? Then yeah, we already had our 4-year cycle, and that was that. And now we're sitting here just waiting for the 4 years.
Yeah. And the way I kind of look at it is like, of course anything's possible, but the way the charts look right now, in the past we've never seen like a market cycle peak and then like another peak where like they're essentially right around the same. The second peak is slightly higher.
Yeah.
But so we got this like new all-time high that wasn't a blow off top compared to previous highs. So we've never seen anything like that, right?
Yeah.
It was always this blow off top that blew everything else out of the water. So, I do think we'll see something like that. As Benjamin Cohen says, there's these extended cycles with diminishing returns. So it's not going to be as much of a blow off top, but I still think we get that to some extent, some point. And it's just like, when's that going to come? Did it already happen? Is it going to be potentially this late this Q2, 3, 4? When is it?
Yeah. And just remember, like, if the market has euphoria in it and everyone's going to make it and everything's winning, you're getting to a point where you're getting close to that blow off top, where all of a sudden you just saw, especially if Bitcoin's 2xing in a short period of time, like less than a month, then use that as an indicator. What I was using always as an indicator for the longest time, especially back in 2017. And, I was a big proponent of watching Ethereum's price in comparison to what Bitcoin did back in 2013 and using that as an indicator throughout that cycle of saying, hey, Ethereum's tracking very similar to what Bitcoin did and price wise and throughout the years. Yeah. And was very early in 2021 as well. So that made you believe that, like, hey, this is tracking almost identically. And then all of a sudden it stopped for a little while. And it just had a lull of just that price. It's just now it's more of extended. So if we were talking about a start of the year, January to December track, yes, it was for the first 5 months. And then all of a sudden we extended out. Now it's just, ranging between 4 to 2,000 for a while.
Right.
And I just think it's like you look at charts and graphs and you try to take as much as you can away from it to, at the end of the day, put together your own idea of where the market's going to trend and how it's going to unfold. And I'm a firm believer now in the extended cycle. How far that's going to carry us, I think we talked about it previously in another video. Like June and July is kind of my initial thought, but it just all depends on how long this carries out. Because my thought is it's gonna, if this bearish phase continues and we continue to accumulate and drive the price, that might push out further for me. The longer we continue doing that, until we can get Ether over 5,000. Once, like, I'm using Ether as that price because everything's Bitcoin is brand new price.
Right.
Or discovery. Yes. Thank you.
No one knows. Yeah.
And Ether is just more, you can use it as a basis off of what Bitcoin has previously done. Not saying that that's going to be the right path for everybody, but that's how I'm choosing to dictate where that market top could be eventually.
Right. Like, because of what Bitcoin did in the past, it's easier to say, okay, ETH's top could be anywhere from maybe 10 to 30,000, right? It's going to be somewhere around that 20, we would suspect.
Yeah. And so, like, other people, like, you mentioned Benjamin Cohen, but others might think like 10,000 for ETH is that blow off top, or others are calling for 40,000. Love to see it, but at the end of the day, I'm using the 20,000 marker, whether that's just under that or just over that, is kind of my indicator. Now, am I going to be taking profits at over 10,000 for ETH? Yeah. And for all things as well.
Yeah.
Like I'm using ETH as an indicator of where this market is going, and then start taking profits after ETH gets that 10,000 part. So if it is the all-time high, then I'm already getting some profits from it. If it's not, then I'm going to continue taking other profits along the way up. And then if it does even just have some ridiculous launch, then, I'll still have some bags.
Yeah. So speaking of profits, you kind of mentioned some of the alts, NFTs, right? What's you're playing with taking profits from those.
Well, I've talked too much, so you got to tell me. You answer your own question.
I'll answer my question. Let these guys know. So again, this is not financial advice ever, but this is my strategy. And
there's so many different strategies to win profit. And I'm going to interrupt Ryan whenever I want, so everybody knows.
Hey, shut up. My turn. No, yeah. So the altcoins is, something I'm more familiar with. NFTs, completely kind of new thing to me. I've really dove into it in the last 3 to 6 months.
NFTs are new to a lot of people.
Right.
Let's be honest with them.
Absolutely. New to everybody. But, some people have maybe dove in a lot deeper than I have.
Well, if they dove deeper and earlier.
Yep. Exactly.
Killing it.
Yep. So the altcoins, I'll start with that just because I'm more familiar with it. I've talked about this in the Polkadot video. If you guys haven't checked that out, you can go look at that. It's in our, I think, Polkadot and Kusama playlist. But essentially looked at Polkadot's chart against the US dollar, and then I looked at it against Ethereum. So anytime I'm looking at buying or selling alts, I look at the price against the US dollar and then against Ethereum. And you can also look at it against Bitcoin. There's a little switch you can toggle on and off, show different charts.
On CoinGecko, go use it.
Yeah, go check it out.
It has all the links on there for you. You can save it. This is a security tip. I think I mentioned it before.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it again. Sorry, I interrupted you again.
Gotta let them know.
Yeah, I feel bad about it.
So, the altcoins, I was just mentioning to you right before this podcast. There's a new NFT platform, Decentralized. They released a token. It's called Looks Rare, and they have their token Looks. Because of the volume of NFTs that I was trading, I got some free looks. I staked it, so I've been earning rewards. But now I'm looking at the price, and it's like the all-time high was $7 or so. Right now it's at like $5.20 in this little bounce we see in the market here. And then if you look at the price against USD and then the price for Ethereum, it's close to its all-time high against Ethereum. I'm kind of looking at it like, you know what? Could be a good time to take some profits on this. I believe there's a chance we see another dip within the next.
And then what are you taking your profit into?
Yeah, let's say I take $2,000 in profits. I'll probably take 1,000 into ETH and 1,000 into USD into stablecoin.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you're gonna have to have your own opinion on where you want to take it. But like we've talked about this previously, is have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, what you're going to do is you're going to continue watching this thing and hoping it keeps going up.
Right.
And you're never going to take out. And you're never going to, at the end of the day, if you think the market's going to continue rising up and you are going to hodl into ETH or Bitcoin or wherever it is, take profits in those alts into a position like ETH and Bitcoin. Because when crypto winter officially comes, are we in it? Are we not? Who knows? But when it does officially come, the alts will get smacked harder than anything. 99% loss guaranteed. Okay, Bitcoin and ETH are going to get hit and smacked hard, but I think Bitcoin was an 84% drop.
Yep.
ETH was like 92%
yep.
from its all-time high. So those things just didn't get killed along the way like the alts did. So getting into those positions, if you're going to hodl, or if you're going to go into USD or stablecoin, then at least have an idea of how much and what your tolerance is on the way up. And go ahead.
Little pro tip: if you're trading on Ethereum like Uniswap or SushiSwap or anything like this, pro tip: you got to either be a night owl or an early worm to get the bird.
Or I do want to say this too, is like, because he's talking about gas fee.
Gas fee. Ethereum just skyrocket.
If you're going into a position, I know like other YouTube channels talk about, hey, take a little bit off the top here and a little bit, and then save for a moon bag. If you're only putting in $200, $300, it's not worth having multiple transactions right now until ETH 2.0 comes out. You're just going to get slammed with gas fees that are going to be almost at times more expensive than the profits you're taking.
Yep.
So it's almost wiser if you're only going to put $200 into Looks Rare or something, since we're talking about that, don't do it, like, in my opinion.
Right, because then, like, especially you're going to trade for the token, then you're going to stake it. Staking costs maybe $80. Then when you unstake it, that might be $80. If fees are high, it could be $140, whatever it is.
Yeah, Ethereum's a big, expensive network right now. So if you have the money to move it around, good on you. But if you don't feel like you're like have to FOMO into stuff because everyone's talking about it.
Yep.
And they're talking about the next alt. Guess what? They're always going to be alts. That's why we talk so much about this building your base and putting money into the networks that are going to succeed. Those are what's still going to be around. So as you get more money into those networks and put yourself in a position for the next cycle, then you're going to have the Ethereum or the Bitcoin or whatever to leverage against, or however you want to play it. Don't leverage, but I said it anyways.
Even though I do it.
Yeah. Even though I do it.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't. No. If you leverage
different type of leverage, right? There's different types.
Yeah, there's different types. Not like 10x leverage. Right. We're just talking about putting your ETH or Bitcoin up for collateral and then borrowing against it.
We're less than 2x leverage.
Yeah, always less than 2. And to get back to just talking about the idea of taking profits, if you're using a centralized exchange, a lot easier because you're paying a lot less fees. So just keep that in mind. If you're a new trader, if you're using Uniswap, you're going to get smacked with fees, especially when there's a blow off top and when you want to take fees or when you want to take profits, everybody's going to be doing it. So just understand that the gas is going to be ridiculous. So just keep that in mind for the future.
Yep. And real quick, let's touch on this. What are your thoughts on using a centralized exchange?
Pooja.
Where
sorry, dogs.
Pooja's getting excited about the altcoins. So, what are your thoughts on using a centralized exchange to buy some of these altcoins for these smaller, lower trades? If we're
I think
money.
You should. I really do. Until I think decentralization is the best thing that we're going to have moving for us for the future. But if you're just getting into it new, or you only got $100-$200 and you've already built a base out into the networks that you want, like Polkadot or Ethereum or Bitcoin, and you're like, no, I want to dabble into something else. I've already got a lot invested in the big boys. Then use a centralized exchange to do that. Find the coin that you want, whether it's Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini. You can find certain ones on there that's not on Uniswap because you're not using all your ETH that you just accumulated.
Right.
And you're taking a chance in a very risky play. Right. Then, I use Kraken. I have majority of my Polkadots on Kraken, staked right now. And so it's not like I'm totally against centralized exchanges. It's just, you got to figure out what's the best situation for you and what works best for you. And I 100% think that right now, if you're going to dive into some altcoins, especially at low barrier points, if you're not throwing around $10,000, then you should be using, a centralized exchange to buy your alt.
Yep.
In my opinion.
And a quick safety tip on that. Let's say your friend or us, whoever it is, somebody on YouTube talks about, yo, this new coin, Grimace coin, this McDonald's thing, I want to get some. Let's just say you want to ape into it and you're being a degenerate. Then you can go to CoinGecko. If you find the CoinGecko page and it's the right page, you can click on markets and see what exchange is offering that token and who is holding it. So where you can go buy it. It might show Uniswap, KuCoin, Coinbase Pro. But then, if you already have the account, you can go get it there. But if you're looking at new exchanges and you don't have that account already, definitely be careful. Do some research on that exchange. Make sure it's a reputable exchange.
Yeah. And if you're going to ape into anything, if you're early enough, you'll do all right, maybe. Who knows with any altcoins, really, especially if these ones that have just wild use cases.
Who has quick little story for you guys. My friend loves aping into these. We're
talking about meme coins?
Yep.
Yeah.
Improv, my homie Dylan.
We'll have him on the podcast. Maybe I don't agree with his style and approach, but he kills it.
He's doing well.
And so why not have him give you his point of view?
Yeah. But, a quick little testimonial from it. Grimace coin. Are you aware of the whole Grimace thing?
Is it Grim, right?
Grim.
GRM.
Yeah. And as McDonald's started, talking smack about the crypto markets, something. And then somebody made Grimace coin as a joke because they mentioned Grimace coin. So the first Grimace coin that popped up, Dylan invested into, Soft Rug. They pulled the liquidity, and he lost however much money. And then a second one popped up, and some whales from Loki or some other coin like that they all created this other coin called Grimace Coin, and so he went in on that, and he's gotten a 10x so far. So it's, you really got to be early on these things if you were going to do it. We're not really into that whole space, so
I think, and that's the thing, is like you find out your niche or the things that you feel you're just like kill it at, and if you can get in early enough for any of these different projects, whether it's alts, NFTs, Metaverse, we kind of just dabble in all of it. So we just have a different approach to it, but we're not gonna dabble into projects where we just don't understand how or what's the long-term effect, because this is a macro channel. So that's, at the end of the day, we want to have things that we believe in long-term. Of course, we dive into things that we want to flip, but if we do any of that, we're probably not going to talk about it on here, but we understand that we can easily lose that on a drop of a dime easily. But so let's dive into the NFT and Metaverse real quick.
Yeah.
And chat about kind of where you're at in what does it look like for the future in the NFT space and the Metaverse? Because it's kind of together, right?
Yeah, it is, definitely. NFTs, we're going to be able to use the NFT, use the character or whatever in the Metaverse. I don't know. A lot of it's unclear. A lot of it's like assumed, and it doesn't feel like, what Metaverse am I going to be able to use this NFT in? Some projects are coming along like, oh yeah, we'll have a certain approved NFTs and the community can vote on which NFTs come into our Metaverse. Lots of crazy things, and a lot of it seems undecided and uncertain.
Like Skybridge or Skybreach. Sorry, not Skybridge. Skybreach on the RMRK network. That's on Some and Polkadot. Throwing that out there. I threw a video on it. Just saying, they're basically the canary birds are the governance token. They get to decide the other avatars that get to come into their Metaverse. Just dropping that in there. Sorry.
Big RMRK fan.
I know you are. And I told you, did you end up buying a canary bird yet?
Not yet. I was thinking about it today before I leave.
I got one.
You got one?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. So you can just give me the quick little lowdown.
I'm the governance.
Let's go.
I'm the governor.
Canary birds. Maybe this guy drops a video for you guys so you can get in on it. He's trying to hog all the gains over here.
No, I already dropped the video. I told you all about it.
But did you make them a tutorial? These people, they didn't know how to do it step by step.
Yeah, I showed them where they can go. The links will be in the video, like always.
All right, you guys heard it here first.
Yeah.
I'm asking the good question.
No, you're not. He's the worst
I'm like
host
a reporter.
ever.
I'm a reporter.
Or co-host, I should.
I'm a journalist, finding out all the sneaky answers. Speaking of being a journalist, I got some more alpha coming right up for you guys after I finish this content.
No, drop it right now. Don't.
All right, guys. So we
don't make the crowd wait.
El Salvador. We already know, right? Bitcoin legal tender. Guess who else is thinking about making Bitcoin legal tender? Might not have already heard. Arizona, home of the.
By the time we drop this video, that will no longer be alpha.
You know. Well,
but regardless, you might come across it. We're from Arizona. We live in Arizona,
crypto, baby.
Yes. So why not be jazzed about the place that you reside in?
I didn't even
have
know
Bitcoin is legal tender. Yeah. And if you don't think, I initially was like, U.S. government won't let this happen.
Right.
But the thing is, they did make silver and gold legal tender previously.
Arizona did.
Whoa. So
I didn't even know states could do that.
It's almost like it doesn't mean much. It's just kind of it's a dope.
Like, hey, we're doing it.
Yeah.
It gets people aware.
So when I found out that they allowed silver and gold to become legal tender, it gave me a little bit more hope. I was like, okay, hey, you're telling me Bitcoin has a chance? Because right now we're starting to see some states like Texas, Miami, and Florida, of course, and then up in New York, fight for the quote-unquote Bitcoin hub in the United States. And, I think this allows Arizona to get their name out there. And it's just great.
On the map.
Yeah. It's just great for Bitcoin and the crypto space in general. Because adoption, especially on the government level, is what we need.
Yep.
We're going to fight against the banks. If you don't see that coming, you're blind. The IMF, the central banks, you see it in Russia happening.
Mm-hmm.
It already happens in China.
Russia, another place trying to make Bitcoin legal tender possible.
Yeah, Russia doing that within their financial ministry, but their central bank within Russia bans it all the time. they're the ones that ban it. Of course, they're a bank. They ban it. They're not going to accept Bitcoin. Okay.
I'm trying to say they might block people's transactions trying to use fiat to buy Bitcoin. Then Putin siding with the ministry, saying, yeah, we want to make regulations around it. We want to support it as it grows, not block it.
So there's going to be a fight. It's brewing already. The signs are there. Government, how they're going to side or how they're going to adopt over time. Let's go. We got El Salvador already dancing in the party. Who's joining next to add legal tender? Who's going to be that second partner? Then the third, the fourth, the fifth. And then all of a sudden, we just got every country adapting along the way. There is no way around it. Bitcoin is going to be that. Basically, whether it's legal tender or just adoption across the board. And then Ether just is going to have that success along the way. And maybe one day flip Bitcoin.
You know, lots of talk about it. There was some talk about it happening last year, but lots of talk coming up about it happening this year now.
Well, because we're not Bitcoin or Ethereum or Polkadot or any of those types of maxis. No. We're crypto maxis. We love the crypto space. We love NFTs. We love the Metaverse. We love DeFi.
You know what I'd say? We're decentralization maxi.
Ooh, good. I like that. I do like that. Because we hate Solana, XRP, Tron.
Even I heard Polygon's somewhat centralized. Like, you know, few people hold these multi-sigs.
Binance Smart Chain.
Yep.
Yeah, Polygon, dude, kind of feels weird.
Yeah, you know, I bridged some money off Polygon the other day. This might sound like gibberish to some people, but I tried to bridge 3 ETH from Polygon back to ETH.
And it took a few days, right?
11 days. It was just stuck. I had to submit a ticket to the Polygon support team, and then they responded like, yeah, it looks like it's stuck. Here's a link to push through that stuck transaction. Got there in like a minute after that, but I was like, wow, man, this is
so
not good.
There is rumors out there in the rumor mill that Binance has a big play in Polygon.
Yeah, they're holding a lot of their staking for the network.
No, that Binance does not want Ethereum to succeed because they got the Binance Smart Chain.
Yep.
It's
direct competitor.
So we'll see how this layer 2 on Polygon. So I'm not a huge fan of Polygon. At the end of the day, I'm really not. There's a few things I have on the Polygon network, like Klima, which I'm not a fan of that it's over there, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. And we'll see how it progresses over time. But yeah, we are decentralized maxis.
Yep.
And, you know, I think the biggest thing that we want to focus on moving forward is talking about our values. I think is going to be great content later on, just why we dive into certain projects. And that's the number one value for me personally. I've mentioned it before, is the decentralization factor. And if you are worried about Facebook and Meta taking over, you know, and keeping your data,
guess what? Worried about it.
Yeah, I think you should be worried about Solana. Okay, you should worry about XRP or Binance Smart Chain. If you're utilizing those, they control everything. So you don't really truly own the assets in your wallet on those platforms, in my opinion.
Yep. That's what big facts. You know, even if they eventually go to this like decentralized look and feel, if
it's BS.
Yeah. If you know, Solana has that, you know, it looks and feels like a decentralized network,
but it's not.
But it's not. I think you got to be putting up for their staking. It's like $500 million. You
got to have money
to be able to be a node for the Solana network. If you're trying to use even like 10 mil, it's like, nope, sorry, kid.
Yeah, and it's just, I think Solana is the new Neo or EOS of this cycle. That's my personal opinion. We'll see how it plays out. I don't think it's going to withstand winter bear market whenever that comes, or when that first downtrend hits. It's just, you know, if you're supporting that Solana network, shame on you. But, you know, that's your choice at the end of the day, and you get to decide how you want to play it. But it's just the centralization is what we're trying to get away from, and create platforms that create the most decentralized atmosphere or ecosystem that anyone could ask for, which creates more financial freedom in the long run. So
that's why Bitcoin started, why Ethereum started.
Number 1 and number 2 are decentralized.
Yeah.
That doesn't point to anything.
Let's go.
Who's the winner at the end of the day here? Okay. Just remember that.
So, before we sign off here, quick little, we're macro. We're about the long term. We're just
macro. Just macro.
This guy thinks he's tough because he did jiu-jitsu for 2 weeks.
I still do.
Whatever. Anyway, let's give him just a little week to month kind of prediction. Where's the market going right?
Where the market's going right now, like we've had, hopefully how this week plays out the rest of the way, we continue into the green a little bit, but I think primarily the rest of this year is going to be very bullish.
Very bullish.
I'm super excited I just feel like there's so much going into the space. Unless there's a black swan event, I just don't see it coming down.
So you don't foresee us going lower than the recent lows?
I don't, in my opinion. I'm not calling for lower lows. I'm not also calling for higher highs within the next couple months either. I think it's going to be a long road up, but once we get there, we're going to get a blow off top in 2022. Is that in the summer like I was calling for earlier? Who knows? Is it at the end of 2022? I just think at some point in 2022, I'm using the Ethereum price to kind of dictate my thoughts on where the market is currently. And I think overall, anyone that's calling for the markets to come down or that they're going to hit lower lows, you're in for a rude awakening, in my opinion. Just because I feel like the sentiment, when a sentiment has gone so far one way, expect the unexpected.
Yep. Yeah, and I agree. Lots of bullish signs coming in about Bitcoin, on-chain metrics. You can look at Glassnode if you know who Will Clemente is. You can watch his videos. He's on Anthony Pompliano's channel. But, lots of just bullish signals coming in. And one in specific that I saw today was that the Bitcoin miners have bought, I think within the last couple of days, like 2K Bitcoin. And there was just this chart kind of showing there's this cross between the Bitcoin price and how much Bitcoin the miners are buying and hodling, and not necessarily buying, but they're hodling instead of selling it. They're starting to hodl it, and they haven't hodled this much Bitcoin since January of 21. So it's been a year now since they did this. So essentially, what the signal was is like, all right, the miners have gotten really bullish and they think the Bitcoin's oversold. So now they're like, all right, we're hodling.
Yeah, and it could be very easily oversold just because there's so much innovation happening within the market, both through Bitcoin and Ethereum and other smart contract platforms, of course. So it's wild to me that it's taken the dip it has, but we're here for a long time, not just a good time. Remember that. Unless it's altcoins, we're only there for the good times.
Yeah. Get out them altcoins, get out them NFTs, take the profits.
While you can, unless you're in a blue chip NFT like Journey.
Yeah, maybe keep a moon bag or, hold on to the long ones.
But at the end of the day, hey, we're just here helping you guys navigate this crazy space, the wild, wild west that is the cryptocurrency space itself. I hope you guys enjoy the content. Remember, just enjoy or like the videos, subscribe to the channel. Give us some recommendations down in the comment section like Vanessa did. Yep. That way we can talk about anything and everything that comes across in the comments until we become so big that we don't even know what to do at this
macro.
Sign off, everybody. Peace now.